Get ready to wake up and energize your whole body in this short but active practice. You may like to have a yoga block handy for this class, but no worries if you don't have one. Otherwise, grab your mat and we'll begin by kneeling towards the back of your mat. Take a deep breath in and a slow exhale as you gently round your spine forward, taking your forehead gently onto your mat for an easy child's pose. Sending your breath all the way into your lower back. Deeply breathing in, slowly breathing out. Reach your hands forward and open your knees out a bit wider, taking this into a wide knee child's pose, allowing your chest to sink in between the thighs, and perhaps rocking slightly from side to side, just waking up the inner thighs and the hips. And then rounding your spine forward, slithering onto your belly, and coming into a baby cobra, pressing the tops of your feet into your mat, hugging your elbows in, maybe lifting up a little bit higher, and then lowering your forehead down. Tuck your toes, press into your hands, and lift your hips up into a downward facing dog. This might be your first down dog of the day, so just find any movement that feels good. And then begin to take baby steps up towards the very top of your mat, and we'll come into a forward fold, allowing your knees to bend generously as much as you need to allow your torso to drape on your thighs, releasing any tension that's being held in your neck. And then from here, planting your left fingertips down, bend your left knee, straighten your right leg, and begin to lift your right arm up towards the sky, coming into a twist. Staying there for a breath, and then switching sides, bending into your right knee, lifting your left arm up. And then unwind. Option to clasp your fingers behind your back for a shoulder rinse, taking your knuckles overhead any amount. And then bending deeply into your knees, begin to roll up through the spine, slowly coming up to stand. You'll have to excuse my terrible camera angle for the rest of this class as I've chopped my head off, but it's all good. We're coming into Tadasana, palms face forward. Ground your feet down, and on your next breath in, reach your arms up and overhead. Exhale, take your forward fold. Inhale, flat back. And then exhale, stepping back into plank. And then shifting forward, bending your elbows into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Your hips and thighs hover off the mat. And exhale, send your hips up and back for downward facing dog. And just holding this down dog in stillness, seeing if you can gently guide your heels down towards your mat. And then on your next breath in, wave your spine forward through plank and then lower your hips to upward facing dog. Really allowing the heart to lift. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale, send your hips back to downward facing dog. On your next breath in, waving your spine forward to plank. And then exhale, wave it back to down dog. Once more, waving your spine forward and then just gently arching your spine as you wave it back. Let's come forward once more into your plank and then shift it forward, taking chaturanga, and then lower all the way onto your belly. Take your fingertips onto your mat, slightly wider than your mat, lifting up into a wide cobra. On your exhale, dip your right shoulder towards the center of your mat. Inhale back to center, and then exhale, left shoulder dips. Let's take one more round each side. And then lowering all the way back down, taking your hands to frame your upper ribs and come back up into an upward facing dog. And then sending hips back, downward facing dog. From here, walking your hands back towards your feet, so we're now in a forward fold at the back of your mat. On your next breath in, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reaching both arms up as you rise to stand. And then exhale, hands through prayer, Tadasana. From your Tadasana, take a big step forward with your left foot and then turning to face the long edge of your mat, and we're setting up for a triangle pose. So begin to shift your hips back, reaching your arm forward, making your way into your triangle, really allowing your shoulders to stack. So right arm reaching up towards the sky. Really engage your legs here, so kneecaps lift, grounding down through the base of your big toes. Lift your torso up. We're coming into a reverse triangle. Left arm reaches up and overhead, right arm placing gently on the back leg. From here, coming back into your triangle pose. This time maybe taking a half bind, wrapping your right arm behind your back, seeing if you can find the left hip crease of your fingers. And then turn to face your left foot. And we're transitioning into a half split, so lifting up your back leg, keeping your hips nice and squared, maybe testing your balance by catching hold of your ankle. If you wobble and fall out, no worries. When you're ready, stepping back into a runner's lunge. And then on your next breath in, lift up all the way into crescent lunge, really sending lots of energy out through that back heel. Bring your hands in front of the heart in Anjali Mudra and begin to twist in the direction of your front knee. Right elbow hooks to the outer left knee. Keeping your hands in prayer, or option to extend the arms, taking your right hand down to the mat. This can help relieve a little bit of the tension in the legs. Bring your hands back to prayer if they're not there, and then just step your back foot in slightly and open the arms back out. We're making our way into our twisted triangle, Parivrita Trikonasana. From here, unwind, cartwheel your arms up, back through center, and we're taking this straight to the other side, so just set up your feet for triangle on the second side. Right toes are pointing forwards, shoulders are stacking, only looking up if that feels okay on your neck, and then pressing into your feet as you lift on up into your reverse triangle. Right arm leads the way, reaching up and back, opening up through the side of the body. Lower back down into triangle, this time maybe taking a half bind. Wrapping your left arm behind the back. And then unwind, come transition through runner's lunge, shift your weight forward onto that front leg, lift on up into your standing split. If you're feeling brave and you caught your ankle on the other side to test your balance, do so here. And then gracefully stepping back into a runner's lunge. When you've got your balance, lift your arms up, coming up into a full crescent lunge. Take a deep breath in here. And then on your exhale, bring your hands to prayer. At the bottom of your exhale, find your twist. This time, left elbow hooking to the outside of the right knee. And you have the option here, if you took it on the other side, to extend the arms. Extending the arms is preparation for our next posture of twisted triangle. Coming back into your prayer, and then just stepping your back foot in, keeping your upper body in the twist, lowering your left hand down to the outside of your right foot, and coming into your twisted triangle. Really, really strong pose, but not here for too long. We'll take one more breath here. And then on your exhale, cartwheel your arms up, returning to face the long edge of your mat. Taking your feet wide, toes are pointing to the long edge of your mat, or slightly pigeon-toed. We're going to come into a wide leg forward fold, option to clasp your hands behind the back if you like to open up the shoulders. That's just an option. If that's too strong in your shoulders, feel free to take your fingertips down to the mat or any other variation of wide leg forward fold that you like to practice. If you are taking your hands to your mat, you really want to see if you can bend your elbows backwards so elbows are hugging in. Forehead reaching, not forehead, crown of the head reaching down towards your mat. On your next breath in, lift on up halfway, but only halfway. Stay there for a breath, take your hands to your hips, and then slowly lift on up. Taking a couple hops to the center of your mat, and then turning to face the front of your mat, sinking down into Malasana, yogi squat, taking hands to prayer, and just using their elbows to gently press the legs open. And then gracefully plopping down onto your bum, coming into boat pose. Knees can be bent or straight if you want the challenge. It's always such a struggle for me to extend the legs, always really fit it in the hip flexors. It's a lot. Begin to round your spine, and we'll take rock and roll a couple times. Using your core to just find a very gentle pause at the top of your rock. And then rock up all the way to a seat. And we'll close with a few breaths. Inhale, circling your arms up, taking your hands to prayer. Exhale, hands to heart. One more deep breath in. Exhale, lower it down. I hope you're feeling energized and ready to take on the rest of your day. And I'd be so grateful if you subscribe to my channel. It's a great way to show your support for these free yoga classes.